started off good, with 3 and outs, the pick six, and then we had a few little breakdowns. The 2 pass interference, penalties. Now 1 was offset, but we got to just keep striving for a clean game all the way through. Really challenged them because our Achilles heel sort of this year. We haven't played great in the second half. We talked all week about coming out of the locker room, both in the first half and the second half. And to the guys' credit, they came out in the first quarter out of the locker room, played really good, and then third quarter played really good. And by the time we get to the fourth quarter, I think the game was pretty well in hand. But coming out of the locker room, really good. Second quarter wasn't the cleanest. Obviously, nice job holding them to field goals there. But and the pick six was good. Good for Quandre. That was good.
How beneficial is it to come off a second half performance like that, going into a game like this where a lot of fans are excited about it, everybody's obviously the last game of the regular season, just being able to build on something like that, 2 quarters like that?
Yeah, obviously anytime you can build on it, and there are good things to correct and improve upon and do better. And so, but there was enough good things and positivity coming out of that game that we can build on. Obviously, a really big week, and so you guys got to get locked in. Just a talented team over there, and everybody knows what this means. This rivalry. Everybody from the players, my kids know. Since the moment they got here, they know what color they don't wear in the house, and so we'll be ready.
Have you had a chance to look at Cunningham at all?
Obviously, I think everybody watched a little bit of Thursday Night Football and stuff, but I, understand what they can do. Since 4 years ago, back in 2018, he's been really athletic and can do some really good things. The last time we saw him, obviously, it was a little rainy, so that helped, on that day. So we got our work cut out for us, especially it's going to be a rowdy crowd out there. So it'll be a good finale for our guys. I think they're going to be ready.
Brad, the last time you played them, which admittedly was a while ago, a ton of TFL. You all were in their backfield the whole game. Is that personnel? Was that scheme? And is any of that transferable 2 years later?
You know what? When you talk about a game that happened last year, and obviously that one was 2 years ago, but every year is a different year. Every year, our defense, adapts to different things and changes and morphs. Their offense, I'm assuming, is probably doing the same thing. Obviously, haven't got into all the nitty-gritty throughout their year. We'll get into that, tomorrow. But so I'm sure they've adapted. All I know is every time I turn on the TV, they're scoring 30 plus. So they, whatever they're doing really well. They're doing efficiently. Obviously, when you have a senior quarterback like that, you've seen looks. You understand how to get yourself into the right place. And then even when you watch that Thursday night game, they were behind the chains, on quite a few plays, and they created a lot of big explosives. So when you're that explosive, the TFLs don't really matter all that much because they made 2nd and 14 a touchdown and a 3rd and 20 a first down, and so they trust probably not a lot of sleep for me this week.
I see similarities between Cunningham and Lamar Jackson, or is it too much to compare?
To put that on anybody, but obviously the comparison from the athleticism piece is, I think we all watched the Ole Miss that week 1, just intermittent throughout the year, and then obviously the Duke game. But he can make guys miss, and we're going to have to do a good job of getting tackling and get multiple hats. The running backs, the wide receivers, the tight end has really become a really good player, developed into a big-time offensive threat. So Coach Satterfield's got those guys ready, and we know they'll be ready for this one.
What do you think about how Derek looked and that injury he's coming back from? I mean, he's moving pretty good. So that's a
That was a great confidence game for De'Aaron, and I think you could probably hear it in the top of the stadium. Some of those sticks. That's what De'Aaron brings. He brings that thump in the hole. But I think that's a really big confidence boost. You think about a guy that suffered an Achilles injury, in the spring, and to be back already making plays. It's a testament to his work ethic and how much time he put in. A great job with our training staff, to get him to this point and to get him ready. And it's always nice to have to get people back to build depth at an end of the season.
You've had Marquand back for 2 weeks now, and even though he's still been a little limited, he seems to really energize his teammates. How important is he, just even when he's on the sideline firing guys up?
There's no question. I mean, he brings such a positive energy, a swagger, a confidence. I mean, the guys really gravitate towards that, and I think there's a very understated importance to that, because I think just in general, especially defensive football, and especially I think sort of this generation of music, movement, energy, they feed on that. Not just like football, on the field, off the field. You can tell when they're in good moods, when they're in bad moods, and so Marquand brings this energy that also brings confidence. And so much about defense is confidence, trusting that you can make a play when it's there to be made, or you can go whip a block. And it seems crazy that one person's energy can do that to multiple people, but it does.
Well, 2 weeks in a row, he seems to have been the happiest guy in the stadium when Justin Rogers makes a big play. What's their relationship like, being the two Michigan guys on that line?
Well, obviously, and they went to the same high school,
Mm-hmm.
So they know each other from way back, and obviously Marquand was instrumental in having Justin be excited about coming to Kentucky, and so. But I think it happens just across the front. You saw how excited he was when Khalil Saunders makes a play. I mean, that was great for his confidence as a young true freshman to go make a couple of big plays there. So both in pass rush and then on the runs.